If you go into the Akashic records, the Akashic records exist out of time and space and hold enormous amounts of information, and you can layer your experience in the Akashic records. So sometimes when people go into the Akashic records, they only want to see what they think of as their past lives. So they'll go back on a timeline or stretch it out into a timeline in their own minds and look at what appears to have occurred a long time ago. The other thing that happens is, along with a record of what we experience everywhere all at once, there's also your reaction to what you experience everywhere all at once. And, oh, Neil, you grew a beard. It looks good. I like your mustache. It's quite full. Looks nice. So the experience of it is kind of on one track, and the overlay of it is your emotional reaction and judgment of what happens. So you can't change what happened. What you can change is the judgment, perspective, and feelings associated with what happened. And a good way to do that, if you're a healer, is to lead people through how each life is a preparation for more, for you to be more conscious, to experience more, and that everything that happens in any lifetime is about your awakening into your wholeness. You're not, in reality, the individual that is sitting in your chair. You are, in reality, everything you've ever been. And therefore, when we come to recognize that, all of that information from all of our experience integrates into us, and we become fully enlightened. And the way to do that is to keep seeking to have that experience of coming to wholeness, so that we're not fractured into this life, that experience, but fully integrated into the awareness of all we are, and able to pull forth whatever we need from the entirety of our experience to live life in the form we're in now. So the way to do that, again, is to seek the enlightenment, seek the integration of spirit and matter, which just simply means that you take what is in your higher self, bring it down into your body, integrate with it, and have all the realization that that means that there is only one you, and it is multifaceted and multi-experienced, and it has every tool available to you as you are now to live a rich, rewarding, completely integrated and aware life. Does that make sense to you?
It does. I was wondering about, that there's all the experience, but there's also the experiencer, or just the pure awareness. And I'm wondering which one is really closer to the self. It seems like the experiencer or the pure awareness and beingness is maybe informed by experience, but is there something else besides the experience that we call, me, you,
You're
us?
talking about your consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
You have conscious awareness. Your conscious awareness is of all things, but you awaken into that consciousness by seeking to be it, seeking to be aware.
Mm-hmm.
And each time you go further in your consciousness, you begin to integrate more of your experience into you and more of your awareness into you and expand your consciousness. If you limit your consciousness to the observer you are now,
Mm-hmm.
then your viewpoint's going to be limited. Your viewpoint has to be, in order to sense all of it, it has to be of everything you've ever been, everywhere, all the time. And that is standing on top of the wheel of lives and seeing yourself as having not being ruled by the lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, but becoming aware that you are part of the solar monad. You exist as also the consciousness of the solar monad, as consciousness of the oversoul, and look upon yourself from the perspective of the oversoul. Be your oversoul. Be your solar monad. And when we do that, our experience of life is vastly different.
I imagine it would be.
And not much looks that hugely important. We see that we have every tool. We see that we have the ability to forge on no matter what has happened. That it's just a blip and adds to our understanding of experience. That's what all life is designed to do, to add to our understanding of experience and to give us more resources. We have to claim it. We have to feel that we're not victims, but feel that we are the generator of what happens to us and claim our ability to achieve enlightenment from what has happened to us. So you're the observer, you're the beneficiary, you're the recipient, you're the perpetrator, all at the same time. It's you doing everything. And in your creating of experience, there is vast wisdom in it. Here's what you need to come to full understanding. And so you're the part of you that lives on earth then seeks to carry out whatever you need to come to a full understanding. And sometimes that's not pleasant in the moment, but if you look at it correctly, neither does it feel like victimhood. Neither does it feel like you're being mistreated. It becomes, oh, okay, here's what I need to understand from this experience. And the awareness of what you need to understand from every experience becomes more instantaneous. It unfolds for you. You see and sense the lesson, the learning. It's not like you're going to school and you're being disciplined for having been a bad boy or girl. It's more that you're going to this school of life to learn a discipline of being whole, to gain the full body of knowledge of what it takes to always be whole. And that is our coming into full awareness. What it takes to be fully whole, knowing I got this. It's all okay. I've got this. I'll manage. There are different things that happen in life that, again, that may not appear easy, but they're full of value. It's like having someone that you're very close to pass away, and you can reflect on all the pain, or you can reflect on the fact that you knew them, and that was one of the best experiences of your life. So you gained so much value from having loved. And the pain of them not being in your immediate presence anymore is a small thing compared to the fact that you got to love them, that they were there with you. They helped mold you into who you are as you helped mold them into who they were. And that is precious. And that's what you hold in your heart when they're gone. It's what you hold in your heart about every experience, that this has helped make me into something more. And that is precious and wonderful and joyful. I always tell people that having cancer was the best thing that ever happened to me, because I learned so much from it, because I became more because of it. I chose to become more. I accepted the learning. And each of us comes into these awarenesses, this knowledge, as we accept what life brings us and seek to be okay that it happened. Seek to have that kernel of understanding that makes us more. Maybe it happened to make us more compassionate. Maybe it happened in order to help us achieve our next job, the next thing we're meant to do in life. Having cancer changed my whole life. I became a healer because of it. And I became a better person because of it. I loved more. So if we allow what we learn to help us grow, then we will do much better than life than if we do not allow that to happen. If we cannot take the lesson and grow from it, then we will feel victimized by what has happened to us. Hope that answers your question. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
And I think it's like a multi-layered learning, that happens.
Absolutely. It is a multi-layered learning, and it all comes in accordance with your timeline for your best interest. It can only happen that way. And sometimes it doesn't happen until you've left a life and integrate all of it fully after you leave the life, but you go into the next life better adjusted.
As you were talking, I was thinking of that song, Any Day Now. I see the sun come shining through. And I think the chorus is Any Day Now, I shall be released. And that seems to be kind of a match, at least in my mind, for what you're talking about.
Yep. So all of us are going to leave this earth at some time, and that is built into us too. We kind of selected that pathway, and we came in and we've lived it out. We've lived out our pathway, and that pathway will ensure that we go out the way we planned. And that's all okay too, because we can't stay. We'd be standing on top of each other's shoulders, because there wouldn't be any room on it, and there wouldn't be any new life, and we wouldn't be part of the cycle of life that is part and built into our physical cells, built into every part of us. We also all have the need to survive, or we wouldn't care whether we did or not. So there is a strong need to survive, which sometimes limits our ability to just let go and go home when our time comes. But that's okay too. That's also part of our learning. It's built into us to resist. And the longer I live, the more I feel like I've accumulated a lot of data in this lifetime. And particularly since I've worked with so many sick people, so many people with a great variety of illness, a great variety of emotional issues. And I've integrated their learning as well. And I think you as a psychologist and you as healers are probably doing that too. Every person you work with, you learn from. Every person that actually, whether you're a healer or not, every person you run into is teaching you something, and you're teaching them something. And it's a perfect mirroring of need to need. That way, we're ensured of coming across those people that hold that mirror up for us to learn from, just as we will hold it up for them to learn from. We're all get perfectly matched along the way. Here we are, here we are, here we are. And isn't it wonderful that we can meet like this? Need to need, coming to understanding to coming to understanding. I've got something to give you, you've got something to give me, and let's just enjoy the exchange. Doesn't have to be hard. A lot of us make our lessons hard. I must have been really stubborn to have cancer to become a healer. It wasn't enough that people used me as their psychologist and would line up at my door at lunchtime to come ask me questions, and because I could sense what was wrong and help them with that, or that I was teaching people on my front doorstep when I was 8 years old. I line kids up on the steps and teach. They would sit there and learn. So I didn't listen to what my life was telling me and went into financial analysis, which I was good at. I was a good analyst. But even that, learning how to be a good analyst made me the person who would sit around and examine what energy does.
Yep.
And want to know more. Why does that work? Why, if I do this, does this happen? So that I followed it and made note of it and could repeat that again. And realized exactly where the energy was going, exactly what the energy was doing, because I analyzed it. So everything works perfectly to make you who you need to be. And for you to fulfill your purpose in life, where you're consciously aware of it or not. And we will all live out our purpose. We can only live out our purpose. You don't have to go looking for it. You're doing it every day. All right. You want a little healing? Then we'll start with the Akashic Records. There's no need to change any event in the Akashic Records. There's only the need, as with living, to take the sting out of the learning so that we can see the lesson and feel good. Know that every time we got our head chopped off, every time we experienced something that seemed very painful, we were just preparing or have prepared and are still preparing ourselves to be the best version of ourselves ever. So that we can stand on top of the wheel of lives and say, I ascend. This time we will ask people to put in the people that they want to receive healing. So, Jane.
Well, obviously, my sister who hasn't gotten back to me, I'm sure she's in the hospital. And as I was telling people, she's got end stage COPD. And I have two other siblings that have major health issues. So right now, it's just my older brother and me standing healthy. And so all of them and all my family, and I'm just going to extend it out to the world. Yeah. Let's send them all.
Let's get everything.
Thank you, everybody.
Connie. Unmute, dear.
Sorry about that. My mother and my Aunt Patty and Janie, who is dealing with cancer, and and I'll chime in with the whole world. I think it needs it right now.
And Ralph?
My immediate and extended families, particularly my son, Michael, my sister, Jeannie, and my wife, Nancy.
And Miss Karen? Unmute. Unmute yourself. I can't hear what you're saying.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
My cursor is not working, so I'm not able to unmute or probably mute myself now. So myself, my family, my animals, everyone at Blue Heron Middle School. Thanks.
And Douglas?
Madeline, Mark, Lovey, Brittany, Emmy, Jamie, Maverick, Lucky, and my horses.
I feel your horses. And mustachioed Neil.
My neighbor Athena, my uncle and aunt Herb and Lorraine, folks in the Middle East and Ukraine.
Lisa?
Thank you, Wanda. My mother, Mimi, my daughter, Melissa, my friend, Miranda, and Sue.
Elizabeth?
Jean-Louis, Andrew, Christopher, Michael, Daniele, Nola, all sentient beings of the earth. Thank you.
Donna?
My family and the elections coming up. Oh, somebody just joined. And I agree with Jane, just everyone around the world. Thank you.
And Yvonne?
I'd like to start with the birds and the bees, the animals and the trees, the water and the air, the earth, all the plants.
So let me tell you about the birds and the bees and the flowers and the
And the
trees.
trees. Yeah, just like every child, the heart and soul and mind and body of every person, every creature.
Excellent. And Barb? Have to unmute yourself, dear.
Sorry. Molly and Damien, and the people I volunteer with, the Girl Scouts, and the Caring Neighbors group.
Good. And Elizabeth? Did we do you, Elizabeth? I think.
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Kim?
Thank you, Wanda. Want to include Raina, Austin, and myself. And of course, everybody in the world, but that's already been said. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And Cindy? Cindy, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry. My mom and dad and the practitioners that work with me, and for myself for my spine healing, and also for the elections next week and the world at large.
Yeah, I'm about to get a dog. Yeah, I'll add him, my dog.
Yeah, he looks like he's looking for some love.
He's right behind me now. I'm leaning up against him.
It's like, did anybody mention healing? Wag, wag.
Well, he follows me everywhere. So if I move 1 foot, he moves 1 foot. If I walk 2 feet, he's 2 feet. If I lie down, he lies down. If I sit down, he wants to be right beside me. So I don't go anywhere without him. He's my shadow.
Yeah, he's so cute.
He is. Gabriel, can you look up? Can you look up? There he is licking me.
Oh, how is he doing, Wanda?
Oh, he's an old man, so he acts like an old man. But he's all right. We took him to the vet recently. His heart was good. He has some lipomas, fat deposits that are pretty large, but they're not going to do anything about it because he's just an old guy. So not very good for him to have surgery. So he's not going to do any that to stay there. And they're just not pretty, but he is.
Yes.
Beautiful face. And he's my good, sweet soul.
Well, let's add Gabriel and all pets to our healing.
Everybody's pets.
Yes. They are so important.
I know Joe Pitcher is getting new kittens today.
Oh.
So also for the integration of the new kittens into her family with her other cat. That's why she's not with us today. All right. Divine Infinite Spirit. I'm connecting everyone, including all the people you mentioned. It's like we're a circle around them, and all the people you mentioned are in the circle. And all of us are connected, and then the connections run through everyone in a circle. We're all in this together, in this healing together. And it is the power of all of us that causes the healing. Our connection to the divine. So thank you for being with us, for being one with us, for flowing through us and all around us, for dwelling within. We ask that we are clear, centered, grounded, balanced, aligned, and filled with light, love, peace, and joy. We ask for the help of the ascended beings, the masters, the guides, the angels, the etheric apothecary, the seraphim and cherubim, all light beings that wish to participate, energy from divine source. And we're all being pulled into the flow of life. More directly into the flow. It just pours through us like standing in the river. Only the river's running down through your head. It's cleansing. It's strengthening. And it's going to stream by you a piece of your story. The story you've been telling yourself. And it shows me the interplay, like the wovenness of the fabric of your life, and that the events and your reactions form the fabric of your life and tell a story. Like a tapestry that's been woven with images in it. And it's a story of love and loss, of joy and sorrow. It's a rich, woven tapestry. And it's offering you the opportunity to take a golden light into your tapestry and enhance the imagery there. So when you can feel the weave of the tapestry, bring that golden light to bear in the story. And feel your mind expand around your story. So that your mind can swallow down your story, digest it, make sense of it, take it in as nutrition. And eliminate that which is waste. Blow out. And blow. And then the golden light goes from the tapestry you're weaving in this reincarnation of you and goes up to your Akashic records and looks for the similarities and is going to bring the same golden light to bear. The highlighting story to assimilate the information and eliminate the pain. To take it all in is nutrition for the soul. Food for the soul. And our consciousness becomes more aware. There is an activation in our core, in our brow chakra, in our ability to see unbiased. Not with the biases of any lifetime, but with the understanding of a fully incorporated soul. No split personalities here. Lots of clearing in the brow chakras. Well, and as our biases about living shift, pain in our body, pain in our mind, pain in our psyche begins to shift. Blow out. And there is a shift in the crown running from the right eye up through the brain, up through the crown, and taking a strand in the crown and taking it up and reconnecting it really far out and connecting it like to the throne room. There is an activation at the halo level of your crown, causing that to burn brighter and to begin to rotate. A link from the mundane to the complete understanding of your spirituality. And that they are one and the same. Each a mirror image of the other. No difference. And the fronts of your chakras open wider. Light rushes in, a golden light rushes in and is processed and spit back out the front. It's clearing the fronts and influencing the understanding in each part of that chakra. Then the golden light is running into the back of each chakra. And clearing out prejudices that are in the subconscious that twist and turn and divert the pure learning of experience. Blow out. We're being capacitated rather than incapacitate. fully capacitated, able to achieve, empowered. And there is strength running into your hands and into your feet. The ability to use yourself to create your own future in the way that you consciously choose to create it, rather than unconsciously create it. Blow out. And from this, the sense of having more say in what happens in your life, not being dictated to, but dictating what happens in your life. And you can't dictate everything, but you can control your emotional input. And you can create with more wisdom what is in front of you, what is to come. So it is continuing to capacitate you, going from being incapacitated to capacitated. Oh, if you see a path that is not light, that isn't lit up so that you can see it and sense what's there, then don't walk down it. Only walk into what you can see, what you can visualize for yourself. And we are opening your third chakra to the possibility of understanding what's in front of you, consciously choosing the path you want to go on because it lights up for you. It's the right path for you. And then moving on down the road. Are there kitties, Joe?
There will be kitties at 2:00.
Okay. We said a prayer for them.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I hope you said one for Zen that he will accept them.
We said a prayer for all the pets, but we also talked about you getting your kitties today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Blow out. And then little strings of thought forms come up to be let go, if you're willing to let them go. It's how you judged and whether you want to keep judging that way. Don't judge parts of your life as bad. Everything is an opportunity. It's an opportunity for problem solving, an opportunity for getting ahead, an opportunity for understanding. An opportunity for making the most out of circumstances. More clearing out the brain, more cessation of having judged it as less than optimal. Still happening, this release of strings of thought forms. And the thought forms open up and the judgment just runs out of them. Blow out. And then with that, the golden energy runs down into your cells and begins to surround each cell. And it finds the impingement on the cell of any thought form of judgment as wrong. My life is wrong. The life isn't wrong, it just is. And so as it finds that point where the thought caused an impingement on your cell, a sparking of the cell saying something's wrong, and your cell began to devolve or misfunction, malform as the result of those thoughts. It pulls that little impingement out and sparks the cell. So that's going to work here for a minute because you've got billions of cells. Reversing the process of disease. The unease of living becomes more of an ease with living. Oh, this is easy. I've got it made. I can do this. Continues to strengthen, nurture, and release the excitation of the cell to misfunction. With that, there is a quickening in the heart and more joy. If you can release misfunction from your cells, you can certainly be happy about that. Blow out. Because then there's nothing to be sad about. If your cells are performing well for you, and your life is so supported, there's no room left for sorrow. Blow. And it's like all of our third, second, and first chakras just blow clear. Empty themselves of the angst they've been holding on to, our developmental angst, what we went through to get to where we are. And in comes the learning from our development, all the way into ourselves. Which causes cellular changes. Adds telomeres onto the cells you're producing, longer lifespan, and healthier lifespan. Blow out. It is converting the power of the angst for cellular destruction into the power of life for the continued living in your best organized body. All systems prospering. Whether it's your neurological system, your urinary system, the health of your organs. Uninflaming joints. Working with sinus issues and allergy issues. and meridians beginning to flow free. The living embodiment of yourself. Your template of yourself as you would like to be embodies. Blow. Your chakras line up in the back. Your heart doesn't dominate from your subconscious. It becomes equalized front to back. None of your subconscious dominates because your chakras become equally distributed front to back, back to front. And what was in your subconscious becomes more conscious. As we relinquish things like the fear of aging, the fear of becoming decrepit with aging, the fear of losing our mental acuity, and bringing up any fear that inhibits the living. You're living. Blow out. And there are cellular markers that are flipping on, like restorative of health in the cell. It's running around the edges of the cell on the inside, the inner lining of the cell, and turning on the chemical markers that cause the cell to react and respond appropriately. Some of us have markers that cause the cell to not respond appropriately. as this works, I feel healings in lungs, healings in cardiovascular systems, and neurological systems, a lot in internal organs and organ systems, in your enzyme system, triggering enzyme flow. So that your body chemistry works more efficiently. The root clears. But it's not just happening to you, it's happening to all those pets. It's happening in trees and blades of grass and deep in the bedrock of the earth. An enhancement of cellular function. It's happening in the minds and hearts of Ukrainians, Israelis, the people of Gaza, the people of Iran, Koreans, Americans, because to be living our best lives, we need to feel like we can and be free of our fears, our anxieties about the future. The future is going to be what it always has, what you make of it. Your future is in your own hands. It's not in the hands of any group. It's in your hands. And we are all safe. We are all secure. And we will all live out our lives in an enhanced lifetime now. Go out. So there seem to be some bad lower backs, low back pain. Some people experiencing that, and it's going to work on alleviating low back pain, neck and shoulder pain. And there is a release of the fear of dying. Nothing ever dies. So you're worrying about something that doesn't happen. Your soul will change clothes, but it never dies. It can't. It is eternal. And it never has, because it is eternal. And if your body chooses to lay itself down and redistribute itself back to the planet, you still live. And there's no need to mourn going back to the source of your body. Just as there is no need to mourn going back to the source of God. But rather rejoice in our transitions. Knowing all those other lifetimes you're living out at one time, too, are still going on. And you can just shift your consciousness that way if you want to. Or you can choose to set up a new timeline. Because you have infinity to do it, to live. Blow out. Each of us, it feels like now we're all suspended and feeling ourselves in that divine beingness. That enhanced state of being. And that all of us are benefiting blow. That was Gabriel getting down. Blow out. Blow. And there is a sense of transportation. Like the universe is now flowing freely through us. We are transported to see the face of God. And to stand in our solar monad, whole, complete, understood, and witnessed. Ready to continue ascending as the earth ascends and leading the way. Healthier in mind, body, soul. Grounding and the earth rising up into us until there is a merger of our understanding as a being of the earth and our understanding as a being of God. That it is all one, that it is all perfect in its unity. And that we are not dual unless we just want to be. For it is all one thing. And each moment is the opportunity for the expression of our beingness. And all of you are beautiful beings. So live out your beautiful life. Fully expressed. And so it is. Does anybody have a question?
Wanda, I don't have a question, but when you told us to, explore the tapestry, I found a knot. And I did what you taught us long ago, is to take the etheric fabric and remove the knot. And this is related to a childhood trauma. And I felt air breathing through, and I felt it was being held in my solar plexus, where I've broken a rib and where I've had some problems in the past. And I was shuddering. And then when you said, all those things that crawl out, they did.
Good.
So the story's still in the fabric. I mean, it's still in the tapestry, but the knot's gone. Yeah, that was amazing.
Very good. Anybody else have anything they want to say? Does anyone want to say the ending prayer today?
Okay, so thank you so much for everybody's participation, and especially for Wanda, all the beings of light who came here to assist. We send love and sweetness and gratitude to all. So it is.
How are we on time, Donna?
It is 1:45. I think I sent the other Karen a notice. I sent a notice to you.
I did receive a notice of 1:30.
Okay.
So I got that.
Oh, good.
Bye.
And I forget how long I'm supposed to go.
1:30.
I think it's
Okay.
1:30. We're about 15 over.
All right. I hope you all enjoyed this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Wanda.
Thank you, Wanda. Much love to you and everyone.
I love you all so much.
Love you
Love
too.
you too.
Good
Bye.
night, everybody.